What's up, guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today we're going to continue our full set review of Batman Team Up with the super rares. If you guys missed all the commons, uncommons, and rares, go make sure to check those out. But without further ado, let's just get right into it here. Starting us off at number 45 in the set, we've got Jon Stewart. And it's a pretty epic sculpt here. This is like straight off of one of the comics, you know, one of the cover arts of the comics. So he looks pretty awesome, but taking a look at what he can do here, he's got Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, Herald, and Soldier keywords. In Brightest Day, Willpower, when Jon Stewart uses it and succeeds, he takes a maximum of 2 damage from attacks until your next turn. Then the Architect, Barrier, Invulnerability, Barrier as free, but only to generate 2 markers. Hey, free Barrier is always good, you know? So we've got 10 movement running shot with flight, 7 range, 11 attack precision, 18 defense with that special defense power, and 3 damage with some enhancement. You've also got Green Lantern TA and JLA, which gives him +1 to speed when moving, with a move action specifically. And of course Passenger 8 with that Green Lantern TA. So he can carry up to 8 characters, 11 squares for 75 points. That's pretty great. And he's pretty good ranged attacker, 7 range, you know, precision strike. He's got some enhancement to help out the team. He can free Barrier, you know, to block that off. And then the willpower that you take a maximum of 2 damage when you succeed. He's begging for a Green Lantern ring to give him that +1 to willpower rolls. I mean, heck, if you want to give somebody else the Green Lantern ring, you could even give him the Super Soldier Serum, which would kind of make sense because he's a soldier. But yeah, for 75 points, he's pretty great. I like him at 50 points too, not quite as much, but Charge Blades, 17 defense, and he still has the free Barrier, which is great, and Perplex. So actually, maybe I take that back. Considering the Green Lantern TA, the Perplex, the free Barrier, he is still doing a lot for your team for 50 points. He's just has a lot more survivability and damage output for 75, but you know, the 50 is a really solid line too, as more of a team player kind of support role. But yeah, I mean, he's really good at either point value. One thing I want to actually quickly mention before we're done with Jon here is he does have one weird thing on his dial, which you might have noticed. He's got willpower on his last 3 clicks, just as a regular, you know, power on his dial, and he does have it traded. So I'm thinking they're gonna errata that one way or the other. Maybe they'll say when he uses willpower, he only takes 2, because I think one of the other Green Lanterns has that trait. It says when she uses willpower. It doesn't actually give willpower, so maybe they're going to errata that out. Maybe they're going to switch these two, so that's supposed to be the special defense. Maybe that's supposed to be the trait. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of ways they could go with that. If there is an errata, there's not currently one as of me recording this. If there is one, I'll put it on screen for you. But yeah, he's still great either way. All right, but up next we have Sinestro. He's one of just a couple of super rares I don't have at the moment, but I'm definitely trying to get him. He is amazing at 125 points or 75 points. But for 125, he's got Injustice League team ability. He's got 6 range double target, 10 movement running shot, flight, 12 attack, 18 invincible, and 4 damage with some outwit. He's got a trait that gives him Perplex, and when Sinestro uses it, he may negatively modify damage values, which is huge. Ever since they, you know, the last DC set, Wonder Woman, when they changed the rules up a bunch, you can no longer perplex damage up or down at all. So being able to negatively perplex damage values is pretty amazing, especially if you get the Sinestro ring on this guy. Then you can -2 anytime you use Perplex. So you can -2 somebody's damage to the point where they can't even hurt him at all, let alone probably the rest of your team either. So it's pretty huge to be able to do that right now. And then you've also got a special attack power that gives him knockback, pulse wave, but each hit opposing character is dealt 2 damage instead of 1. A 2 damage pulse wave is also insanely powerful. I know this from just playing around a little bit with the 200-point Iron Man from the Avengers Forever set. He also has a 2 damage pulse wave, and it's insane. You know, in like 3 turns, you can just wipe a team because like nearly everybody's KO'd after 6 damage. So yeah, it's pretty nuts to have a 2 damage pulse wave, plus the knockback, so you could, you know, mess up their positioning and everything. Very, very powerful there. And then you have leadership and outwit on his special damage power. He doesn't start with that on the 125 line, but he does on the 75 point line. So, you know, there's that trade-off there. You get a little bit extra there with the leadership, but he does only have one click of that special pulse wave. But even so, one click of the special pulse wave might be all you need. Just running shot in there, pulse wave everybody for 2, -2, perplex down somebody's damage so they can't even hurt you. And, you know, you're golden, basically. So I really like both of his point values. The 125 line is a little better for the higher attack value and, you know, everything, you know, a little more health and stuff. But saving 50 points, 75 line also gives you leadership and is pretty much just as effective with the, you know, the pulse waving. So kind of like the 75 line a little bit better. Either way, he's an amazing figure. 10 out of 10. Up next, we've got another one of my favorite super rares in the whole set, and that is Batman. First of all, super epic sculpt with that cape. They did such an amazing job on this cape, I gotta say. It looks freaking amazing. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite Batmans right now. Yeah, so taking a look at what he can do here. He's got Batman Family, Gotham City, Justice League, Detective, and Martial Artist. You know, pretty much what you'd expect from a Batman. Improved movement for elevated and characters is awesome. That gives you a lot of mobility. He's got Charge, and at the end of your turn, you may place Batman in a square of hindering terrain within range and line of fire. So that's awesome. You know, he can actually sit in hindering and stealth. He can jump out and charge on somebody, hit them, and then at the end of your turn, just pop back over to the hindering and sit in stealth again. So that's pretty amazing. It's kind of like hypersonic speed and stealth in a way. So a very, very powerful charge effect there. Then you have Empower, Outwit, and Perplex. 3 very good damage powers. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. You got, you know, all you really want there on the damage powers. He's got 18 toughness, 11 attack, precision strike, that amazing charge special, and 5 range double target. Of course, he's got Batman team ability. He's got a pretty long dial there of 7 clicks. He does go into regular charge, steel energy, and combat reflexes on the back half, which is good because he can heal himself back up to the middle dial at least. And yeah, I mean, super solid Batman. Full dial, outwit, perplex, and power. Yeah, I've just put the utility belt on this guy, and he's going to do a lot of work, especially if you get those smoke grenades, you know, free smoke wherever you want. Charge in there, hop away somewhere. But yeah, for only 60 points, he's pretty freaking amazing. I just wish I've had a chance to play him. I haven't got to play him yet. I'm really looking forward to it, though, because he looks really fun. Up next is the Prime Green Lantern Batman, and he is also freaking awesome. I wish I had him. He's going for, like, almost $200 right now. It's insane, but he's probably worth it being a super rare prime that is this good. So he's got Batman Ally team ability, Green Lantern Corps team ability, coming in at either 100 or 25 points. So you got a lot of team building options there, either as the main attacker or like one of the main support characters. He starts off at 100 points with a 10 movement, flight, and running shot with 7 range, 12 attack, 18 defense, and 4 damage with outwit. He has a trait that he may have both the utility belt and the Green Lantern ring assigned and equipped at the same time. Now, this is different than some traits we've seen in the past where it just says, like, you can start the game equipped with these. It's not saying that because of the change to the equipment rules, he can start assigned and equipped with both. But that means that because it's not just starting the game equipped out of nowhere, you're not going to be able to have those objects on other people because they're unique. So you're only going to be able to put 1 ring and 1 utility belt on your whole team, and you could put them both on him. Or, you know, maybe if you just want 1 on him and you put a Green Lantern ring on somebody else, you know, it's really up to you. But regardless, he can have both, and having both of those gives him a ton of utility. But I'll talk about that some more in a moment. He also has a special attack power that gives him Smoke Cloud and Smoke Cloud as free, but only to generate 1 marker. Opposing characters occupying or adjacent to Batman's Smoke Cloud markers can't use improved movement and must break away as if they are adjacent to Batman. So having that free smoke for his whole dial is amazing. You can also get it from the utility belt, but he already has it himself, so you don't really need that. You can focus on trying to get, you know, the utility belt's shape change or range combat expert or something to enhance him in other ways. But yeah, that's a really awesome special attack power. It keeps him in stealth the whole time, and it messes with your opponent and everything. Don't forget, Smoke Cloud, as long as you're in it, your opposing characters get -1 attack if they're in the Smoke Cloud. So that can also help you out that way. But he also has special defense power that gives him invincible and willpower, and when he uses willpower and succeeds after resolutions, modify his combat values +1 until your next turn. So you are probably going to want to put the green ring on him, especially if he's at 100 points, because that's going to give him +1 to his willpower, and if he succeeds, then he's going to get +1 to all stats, so he'd be 13 attack, 5 damage, 19 defense. If you've got the utility belt, and you manage to get on the batarangs for the ranged combat expert, he's going to be having a 14 attack, 6 damage, which for 100 points is pretty nuts. Not to mention, you can outwit something. You can sit him in stealth. It's pretty awesome. So he's really, really solid at 100 points. That's not even talking about all the lantern constructs you can generate from the ring. You could generate the catcher's mitt to give him some energy shield deflection. Could generate, the boot or the chainsaw if somebody tries to get close to you while you're in stealth, and that could just, give you an extra close combat attacker right there out of nowhere. You could generate the stop sign to give him barrier to wall up in front of him. There's just like a million things you could do. This guy is amazing at 100 points, but he's also amazing at 25 points. So at 25 points, he's only got those last 2 clicks with phasing, that special smoke cloud is free, barrier, and starting with outwit. But again, he's got Green Lantern Corps TA, he's got Batman Ally TA. He could have both the utility belt and the Green Lantern ring at the same time if you want to. So he could still be taking a free action to generate those constructs, to do all that stuff. Yeah, he could still be, maybe get ranged combat expert from the ring or from the utility belt, or maybe gets, shape change to give him some more defense or something like that. But yeah, you still got the free smoke cloud, the barrier, the outwit, carrying 8 people with the Green Lantern TA, making those constructs. Like, he's going to be doing a lot for 25 points. So either way you play him, he's amazing, well worth the price tag. I just wish I had one. I'm still trying to get one. I'm definitely going to do my best. But anyway, another 10 out of 10 figure for sure. All right, but up next we have Saint Walker, the Blue Lantern. This dude looks pretty funny, but he's a really, really powerful figure as well. So starting off with what he can do here, we got the Blue Lantern Core, Cosmic, and Herald keywords. He's got this trait that gives him Empower, and when Saint Walker uses it, he may treat other friendly characters within range and line of fire as adjacent, which is great. If you've got a Blue Lantern ring on him, that'll give him Empower. If you can already use Empower, the affected characters also get +1 attack. So he could basically be giving everybody +1 attack and damage within range and line of fire for close attacks, which is amazing. Then you've got the trait here that says attack rolls of 11 made by friendly characters within range are critical hits. Note that it just says within range, not line of fire. Then if Saint Walker is 60 points, attack rolls of 10 made by friendly characters within range are critical hits. So whether he's 60 or 30 points, you're going to be upping your chances of critically hitting more and more, which is always good. It automatically hits and gives you that extra damage. And then on his damage power, he's got Enhancement and Perplex. So he is upping all of your stats a ton either way. For 60 points, he's a pretty good little extra range attacker there with Running Shot, Precision Strike, 18 Super Senses, and that Enhancement Perplex special. So he can be kind of running in there, taking some shots. And, you're going to be getting crits on a 10. So that's pretty great. Plus the Perplex is going to help you out more. And then you have on his 30-point line, if you want to save some points, he's still going to give you Enhancement. He's still going to, give you the Empower as well. So 30 points for Enhancement and Empower, and TK is pretty great. Some Energy Shield to help keep him safe. But also, if you got the blue ring on him for free, that's Empower +1. You're still getting the crits on an 11. And then you can make the blue constructs from him too for only 30 points. So, there's that give and take there. Both point lines are really good. I kind of feel like the 30-point line is going to see more play just because lower point lines tend to see more play. All you're really losing is the Perplex, maybe his effectiveness as a range attacker. but you are gaining the TK as well, and you know he's half the points, and you're still getting all the advantages of the blue constructs and the empower with the +1 attack potentially and the enhancement still. So yeah, I feel like 30 points might be a little better, but the 60 point line also gives you crits on a 10 instead of an 11, which could be useful. But yeah, either way, like I said, he's really great figure either way. He's definitely going to see a little bit of meta play, I'm sure, be it on Cosmic Herald or whatever. People are going to find room for him. So definitely keep an eye out for Saint Walker. All right, up next we've got Larfleeze, the only orange lantern of greed, because he's just the greediest being in the universe, and I love him. So awesome. The whole Orange Lantern code of like what's mine is mine. That's so hilarious. So we've got Orange Lantern Corpse, Cosmic Herald, and monster keywords, which gotta love monster keyword. Plasticity, opposing characters within range can't automatically break away. That's pretty nice. If you put the orange ring on him, though, that's really the key here, because I'm pretty sure it gives plasticity. If you can already use it, then if you hit an attack on somebody that's equipped, you can dequip them and equip it to yourself, which is amazing. And that goes into his next trait here that says Larfleeze can be equipped with any number of equipment at the same time. When a non-standard character within range and line of fire is KO'd, after resolutions, you may roll a d6 and heal Larfleeze equal to the result. So it's when a non-standard character is KO'd, so if they're giant, colossal, tiny, or whatever, you can heal off of that. But he's basically able to steal equipment. Now, note that you can only start the game assigned with one equipment. So even that his trait doesn't bypass that rule. That's just a rule of the game. You can only assign one equipment per character. But during the game, he can pick up all the equipment, basically, and just keep it all equipped at the same time, and maybe get pretty ridiculous there, who knows. But then he's got Charge, Mind Control as free, but only to target non-standard opposing characters. Again, like I said, giants, colossals, tiny size, bystanders, and other characters that just say they're not standard. So free mind control on a select number of characters can still be useful. And then you've got Barrier, Impervious, Barrier as free, but only generate 2 markers. You know, what's not to love about 2 marker Barrier for free? He's also Cosmic Energy, so he can't be targeted with Outwit, and he's going to have Willpower to help keep him going. So yeah, he starts with that Charge, free mind control on non-standard characters with Flight, 6 range double target, 12 attack with Poison, 19 with Invincible, 4 damage with Perplex. So probably most of the time you're going to want to perplex his defense to a 20 or his attack to a 13, because he is at 175 points. So you're going to want to make sure he doesn't get hit, or you're going to want to make sure his attacks land. But the perplex helps with that. You got some Steel Energy, the special defense power there that helps Barrier, so he can help keep him safe. And then for 100 points, he's almost as good. He's still got 11 attack, 18 with Invuln, 3 damage, perplex. And, you know, he's still looking pretty similar there. He's got some Steel Energy with Hypersonic at the end and Battle Fury. So yeah, he's a pretty awesome character. With the orange ring, I think it's going to be insane to see, you know, what kind of things he can steal from your opponent. It'll be really fun to just be taking all their equipment for yourself and just... You know, once you equip 2 or 3 extra things, you know, he could get pretty crazy pretty quick. You know, I'd love to see some teams with him succeed and do well, hopefully. But unfortunately, I feel like he's maybe a few too many points. 175 points is a lot. You know, and when I first read it, I honestly thought you could just start the game equipped with everything. And I thought, oh, wow, that'd be so awesome. I'm just going to play him for 175 and like all the good equipment in the game, basically. But unfortunately, you can't do that. So I think maybe sticking him on a monster team, you know, there's lots of great monsters, Venom, Magneto, etc., to help support him. You know, you could have a pretty decent team. Kind of dependent on if your opponent has equipment or not for how good he really could be. But regardless, he's a super awesome and fun figure for sure. Up next, we have Deckstar, the little cat of rage. The little kitty cat whose heart is filled with rage. I love Deckstar too. He's awesome. I love so many of the Lantern Corps pieces. They're a lot of fun. But anyway, taking a look at what he can do here, we got Red Lantern Corps, Animal, and Herald keywords. Then you've got Poison. When Deckstar uses it and damages an opposing character, Deckstar has Safeguard Outwit until your next turn. So that's great. Of course, the red ring gives you poison if you can already use it. I believe damage dealt is penetrating then. So yeah, if when he damages an opposing character with his poison, he gets Safeguard Outwit. That's great. And then you've got Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Precision Strike on his attack power. And yeah, he's just a little 50-point furball of death with the 8 movement, hypersonic, and flight, 11 attack with the Blades, Precision Strike, and Battle Fury, which, you know, I love those combos. It's going to be able to get through a lot of stuff. I kind of wish he maybe had like Battle Fury Exploit or something, just so he could get through like almost every defense power. That would be awesome. But yeah, full dial super senses. He's just gonna hypersonic in there and blade something, hopefully for a lot of damage, and then, you know, maybe just sit there and poison them slowly. So yeah, he's a fun little hypersonic harasser piece with the poison. And of course, you could hypersonic just to go 8 squares, hit somebody, and then just drop, you know, a red chainsaw or a red cowboy boot or something, and then smack him with that on top of it. So for 50 points, he's got a pretty good damage potential when you include the ring and the constructs. But yeah, either way, he's an awesome little red cat, and I love him. Coming up next, we have Indigo 1. And she's got a pretty cool sculpt here with her staff and everything. Looks pretty awesome. Anyway, taking a look at her card here, what she can do. She's got the Indigo Tribe keyword, Herald, Martial Artist, and Warrior. She's got a trait that gives her support. When Indigo 1 uses it, she may target a friendly character within range and line of fire, and after resolutions, gain mission points equal to the number of clicks that they were healed. So if you're taking a lot of damage, she can support you up from range and then gain a lot of mission points potentially, because the Indigo ring gives you support if you can already use it. It adds 1 to the amount healed, I believe, or just 1 to the roll, something like that. But anyway, then you got friendly bystanders within range can use support. Don't forget that all of the constructs that these lanterns can generate are technically bystanders, so you can actually basically just give all of her, you know, constructs support to be able to heal. And yeah, so you can get a lot of healing from her constructs. I don't know, support, it used to be a really good power, I feel like, and games are just, they're too fast now for it to really matter. Even if you do manage to use support and get it off once or twice in a game, it may or may not really make a difference. If you're not playing a timed game, though, it can really just be ridiculous. But anyway, you got 6 range, double target. You got phasing, in cap, energy shield, and leadership to start with. Honestly, you know, pretty basic, kind of lame to start with stuff. The leadership is nice, but besides that, she's, I gotta say, not too great. Now, if you do get hit onto the running shot pulse wave enhancement stuff, that's all great. Maybe if she just had like a 50-point line or 40-point line or something somewhere in here, that'd be cool. Or even like a, you know, 30 or 25-point line somewhere in here, to starting with the charge and the close combat expert and the precision. That'd be great. I really just wish you had multiple point lines so you could kind of choose in here somewhere, because I don't know, this is just not great for me. But she is mainly just a support role kind of character. So yeah, I don't know. She could get you a lot of mission points potentially if you're going that route, but otherwise, you know, she's just okay. I mean, you do have the Indigo ring and you can generate all the constructs. That's probably really the best thing about her, honestly. All right, up next we've got Fatality, the Star Sapphire, or Violet Lanterns, pink lanterns. She kind of looks like a pink Power Ranger to me. I said that in my unboxing. Still kind of think she looks like a pink Power Ranger. Anyway, so she's got a lot of keywords here. You got Injustice League, Secret Society of Supervillains, so you got Sinestro Core, Star Sapphire, and Warrior. So I think it's interesting you could actually give her a Sinestro Core ring as well, and generate the yellow constructs, because if you're like me and you don't currently have the violet ring, then that could work out. But anyway, she starts with a trait that says when Fatality uses the Mystics team ability, after resolutions, modify her attack and defense +1 until the end of your next turn. So basically, if she gets hit and takes damage and then uses Mystics to deal damage back, she gets +1 attack and defense for your next turn to, you know, kind of counter attack, which is pretty nice. You also have improved targeting for hindering, which is always useful. You got traded mind control. When Fatality uses it after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each target missed by mind control. I think that's actually pretty nuts. You know, you're trying to mind control them and you miss, so just take a free penetrating damage because I missed you with my attack. That's insane, honestly. It's almost like, you know, you could potentially get more value from missing than from hitting, because even if you hit mind control and try to make them punch each other, they could just miss also. I mean, that's just a great trait to have. Then you've got Blades, Claws, Fangs, Precision Strike, and Giant Reach 2. So, you know, not bad there either. She's got 12 movement charge, 11 attack, 18 combat reflexes, and 3 damage with shape change. You know, you've got the traded mind control there as well. And she also has that cool Mystic special. So yeah, Blades, Precision, Giant Reach 2 on her attack. Gives her some pretty great reach with the charge there. And then that's for 75. For 50 points, you know, not too bad either. You still got charge, Giant Reach, Blades, Precision, Super Senses, and Shape Change combo is always annoying. I'd prefer probably to play her at the 75 just because, you know, you get more use out of the Mystic's team ability and being able to get the +1 attack and defense after using it. But she's pretty solid at both point values. I like that she can actually equip like 2 different rings depending on how you want to go about it. I'd probably give her the Violet ring still though if it was my choice, just because I'm pretty sure it's Mystic's team ability, and if you can already use it, damage becomes unavoidable instead of penetrating, I believe. So, you know, you could actually do Mystic's damage against people with like Invincible and stuff, which is great. But yeah, I mean, regardless, she's a pretty good little close attacker there. And, you know, you have all the utility of the rings and all the different constructs they can make. And, you know, you got chainsaws, you got boots. So she actually makes great use of them because she is a close combat attacker, unlike a lot of the lanterns. Well, actually, a lot of them kind of are close attackers, now that I think about it, with like Deckstar and Larf. But yeah, still, she can charge in there, get a good hit with her 12 attack, Precision Strike, and Blades, and then she could just generate a boot hit with the Close Combat Expert, or generate a chainsaw to flurry blades on them as well. Pretty awesome, nonetheless. I don't know what else to say about her, really. I don't think she's one of the better lanterns, but she's definitely not one of the worser ones. Like, Indigo 1 is kind of, I think, the worst one in my opinion. She's kind of in the middle there, but she's pretty good. But up next, we've got Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman! Again, I love the sculpt on this one. They do such a great job in this set with the sculpts. Especially the super rares, usually looking great. But even a lot of the commons, uncommons, and rares are looking awesome this time. So anyway, she has the Amazon, Justice League, Deity, Past, Politician, Soldier, and Warrior keywords. She's also unique, which I find interesting. We don't really get a lot of unique Wonder Womans, but this one is because she's a mission point generator, so all mission point generators are usually unique. But this one has super senses. When Wonder Woman uses it and succeeds, she can't be targeted by range attacks this turn. Amazing, because she, of course, has the Wonder Woman team ability to give her super senses +1, so you've got a 50-50 chance on those super senses and not being able to be targeted by range attacks the rest of the turn. Amazing. And then you have another trait here that gives her incap. When an opposing character within range with 2 action tokens would be given an action token, after resolutions gain 1 mission point. So she could, she actually has triple target there, 6 range, triple target. So with that traded in cap, she could potentially triple target 3 people. If they all already have 2 tokens, then you could potentially get 3 mission points off of that, which is pretty nuts. And then you've got charge, and friendly characters that can use incapacitate can use charge. That's amazing. Actually, she kind of gives Indigo 1 a little bit more use because she started with incapacitate. So with her, you know, they could at least both be charging. Pretty sure Indigo 1 had 2 targets as well. So you could be charging double target incapping, and, you know, she could get all the healing for Wonder Woman and stuff. So they might make a good team, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, anybody with incap just gets charged, which I think is a great special attack power, or special movement power, you know, because there's a lot of things you could do with that on just giving your whole team charge. But once per turn, when an opposing character within range and line of fire attacks a character of equal or more points than themselves, after resolutions, you may give the attacker an action token. So this is a great special damage power, because if they're gonna like running shot you or something, if she has range and line of fire to that character, they're gonna get 2 action tokens just right off the bat. Even if, you know, they're just cleared, they're gonna like take an action for, you know, running, shotting, or charging or whatever. If she can see that, then they're getting a token. And then on your turn, they have 2 tokens. You incap them and gain a mission point. So I think she's pretty great. I think as far as mission point generators go, this one is actually pretty well designed in my opinion, because she's giving out tokens for free. And also another thing is if they already have, you know, 2 action tokens when they go to running shot or whatever, then after resolutions, she would give them an action token. And if she can't, then boom, you get a mission point on your opponent's turn. So that's pretty nuts too, honestly. But yeah, like I said, 6 range, triple target for that incap. You got flight with that awesome charge special. You got 12 attack precision strike, which does help with the incap because, you know, you could help get you past super senses as well. 18 invincible and 4 damage with that special that gives action tokens to, you know, the opposing character's thing. And then that's for 100 points. I think, honestly, I'd probably play her at 100 most of the time. She's got a nice long dial there as well. But you could play her for only 45 points if you just want the charge, the ability to give everybody with incap charge. You got 11 super strength, 17 toughness, 3 damage with perplex. Don't forget she's got traded super senses the whole time with Wonder Woman team ability, with that, you know, other ability that she can't be targeted by range attacks if she succeeds. So it's going to be really hard to target her. And, you know, she could easily perplex her own attack to 12 here, charge, triple target incap, whatever, or just shoot with 6 range. She's got flurry blades with a 12 attack on her end dial. So it's crazy because you could either be incapping to get mission points, or she can actually do a ton of damage for most of her dial. So I think she's really great, honestly, at either 100 or 45 points. She's bringing a lot to the team. You know, she could get you a mission point win. She could just deal damage and win that way. So I think she's really good for whatever kind of strategy you're going for. And I can't wait to test her out myself. And up next we have the Prime version of Wonder Woman, who's got the utility belt and the Green Lantern ring. So pretty epic combo there. Unfortunately, I don't actually have her, but of course I'll put the dial on screen for you. She's got the Cosmic Energy team ability, the Wonder Woman ally team ability. She's only 70 points. She's got 6 range double target. He's starting with 10 movement running shot, flight, 12 attack penetrating blast, 19 defense with a special, and 4 damage with enhancement. So already I love those stats for the 70 points. She's got the same trait that the Prime Batman had, where she can have both the utility belt and the Green Lantern ring assigned and equipped at the same time. So you're getting a ton of value off of both of those. I kind of wish she had Batman team ability as well, though, so she could get the stealth. But she has a trait that says when a friendly standard character would be KO'd by an opposing effect after resolutions, turn Wonder Woman to click number 1. And then Wonder Woman can use the printed team abilities from friendly characters in your KO area. So actually you can get Batman team ability that way if, you know, one of your Batmans gets KO'd. But then her special defense power gives her defend, invincible, and super senses. So 19 defend for only 70 points is pretty good, I'd say. The invincible and the super senses is great. Of course, with the Wonder Woman ally, that super senses on a 4 through 6. And you've got the cosmic energy, so they can't outwit that special power or, you know, anything. So yeah, she's pretty great. You know, she's helping the team with the defend. She's really hard to hit with the 19 and the super duper senses. And then she's got the green ring, which is going to give her willpower, but she already has willpower from cosmic energy. So that actually means it's going to give her +1 to her willpower rolls as well. So she's going to be rocking that 4 through 6 super senses and that 4 through 6 willpower on top of it. So pretty nasty combo there. Not to mention all the stuff you can do with generating, you know, chainsaws, boots. Oh, you could generate the catcher's mitt, give her another +2 defense from range with the energy shield. You know, you could generate the stop sign for the barrier. If you need to get through barrier, you can make the hydrant, all that kind of stuff. So all the utility that those offer you is there. And all the utility that the utility belt offers you from the smoke cloud. The range combat expert would be great for her, making her a 13 for 5 penetrating. And, you know, you could get shape change on top of the super senses. There's a lot of things that both of those can offer you that's going to make her honestly pretty ridiculous. And then, of course, the whole thing that when a friendly character's KO'd, she just goes right back up to click number 1. So if they're not paying attention and they manage to deal some damage to her and then go to finish off, you know, maybe one of your little weaker characters, then it's just like, oh, back to click number 1 she goes, and now I can use any team abilities they had. So yeah, I really, really like her a lot. She's got a ton of keywords too. I think I forgot to mention Amazon, Batman Family, Deity, Future, Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, Soldier, and Warrior. Tons of great keywords there. In my opinion, she's not quite as awesome as the super rare Prime Batman, but she's right there. She's really close. Honestly, she does even have the potential to be better than Batman, I think, with those kind of stats and powers for, you know, a less of a cost. She's only 70 versus 100, but she doesn't have that option for the 25 point line like Batman has, and she doesn't have as much health really either. She's kind of just really banking on you not hitting her in the first place. And if you do hit her, that you KO something. But she's really great. I mean, I don't want to downplay that. She's really amazing. I like her a lot. All right, but up next we have Jo Mullein and another Green Lantern here. She's like a newer Green Lantern character. I don't really know a whole lot about her just yet, but I know she's supposed to be like, I think from the future. She's like a really good detective or something as well. So she fits right into this set, being a detective and a Green Lantern. So yeah, she is pretty amazing. She's got Green Lantern Corps, Cosmic, Detective, Herald, Police, Politician. Maybe it's that she's a police officer, not a detective. I don't know. But then you have when Jo Mullein uses willpower and succeeds on a roll of 6, heal her 1 click. So that's like what I was talking about earlier with Jon Stewart. Maybe his trait was just supposed to say when he uses willpower and not like give him willpower. I don't know. But yeah, so this doesn't give her willpower, but when she uses it and succeeds on a 6, you get to heal her. And that's good because, you know, you just give her the Green Lantern ring and boom, she gets willpower. And, you know, obviously that helps out with that trait a lot. Plus, giving her everything that the constructs can do is always amazing, like I've mentioned before. Then you've got Charge, Flurry, Plasticity. So she's a little bit more of a close combat fighter. And then you've got Stop, Invincible. And then Jo Mullein has colossal size. So that's pretty nuts. She's also going to get willpower on a 3 through 6 from being colossal. And with the ring equipped, that's going to be +1. So that's like a, you know, you get willpower on anything but a 1 in that case. That's pretty nuts. Because with the change to equipment rules, if you're already equipped and you become, you know, non-standard in some way, it's not going to de-equip you. It's not going to stop you from being able to use the effect. So because she can start equipped and then maybe later become colossal, she could potentially have that 2 through 6 willpower, which is going to be nuts. And she's actually got 2 of those stop clicks right in a row at the end of her dial, which is pretty insane. So for 75, you got that Charge, Flurry, Plasticity, 11 attack, 18 super senses, 3 damage with Outwit. You got the Green Lantern and Police team abilities. She does have a 6 range as well, so you could take shots and use the Police team ability to lower the defense of the targets for your adjacent friendly characters. So that's a lot of pretty good stuff there. I would say, like, you know, this is all good. You know, you can carry 8 people. That's awesome. But there's nothing really too crazy about her dial until she actually gets down here and gets hit. You know, once she hits that first stop click, you know, you got Hypersonic. You can either shoot 11 attack for 3 penetrating or punch 12 attack for 4 damage because of Close Combat Expert. And that's within 3 square reach with, you know, the colossal size. And then once she gets hit again, you know, you could be hitting 12 for 5 with Close Combat Expert or 11 for 4 pen shooting. So yeah, I mean, she gets pretty insane on those last 2 clicks. But I feel like you kind of have to get her there before she gets actually like really, really good. Up until then, like, she's worth 75 points for sure, but you kind of got to wait for her to get hit until she gets like amazing. And that's what I don't like. But she is still going to be doing some good stuff for your team until that point, especially with the green ring and the constructs and stuff. So she's definitely still worth it. And, you know, late game, your opponent's going to have to hit her eventually. So she could, you know, maybe swing back the game in your favor at the last minute. If your opponent's trying to finish her off and they can't, then she's going to just run up there and punch somebody for 5 damage and maybe, you know, win you the game. Who knows? But she's really cool nonetheless. It's always cool to get new characters. So yeah, she's pretty awesome. Now up next we have Cyborg. Unfortunately, I haven't got him yet. I just need him to complete my Teen Titans Go team. But he's 75 points or 50 points. But starting for 75, you got 6 range, Titans team ability, of course. He's got flight, 10 movement with running shot, 11 attack, 18 toughness, 3 damage with outwit. He's got improved targeting for characters. He's got a trait that gives him willpower that succeeds on a 4 through 6. When he uses it and succeeds, you can choose a standard attack power, and you may choose an adjacent friendly character, and Cyborg and the chosen character can use the chosen power this turn. So yeah, I really want to give him like a green ring or maybe a super soldier serum to get the willpower on a 3 through 6, and then you can choose a standard attack power for him and an adjacent friendly a lot more easily. But regardless, that's a really powerful effect, you know, being able to hand out that to anybody on, let's see, he's got Armor, Celebrity, Justice League, Robot, and Teen Titans keywords. So yeah, a lot of keyword selection there for your team. Celebrity is really, really good right now. You know, Justice League and Teen Titans and Armor and Robot are pretty good too. Lots of good choices. But anyway, then he's got his own special attack power that says, when an opposing character is generated within range or placed within range, this turn they immediately gain Immobile and modify attack -1. Which is really super helpful for this set because there's going to be a lot of generating constructs and, you know, a lot of carrying to be placed and potentially some TK to be placed. So this is actually a really, really powerful effect. And it's just when an opposing character is generated or placed within his range. So he doesn't need to have line of fire. And it's not like a once per turn thing. So if somebody uses the carry ability to carry their whole team and just plops them within 6 range of Cyborg, then they're just all immediately going to get Immobile and -1 attack. So even if they generate like a construct or something for free, it's immediately going to gain Immobile and -1 attack. So he really helps slow down those like Alpha Strike teams that just run up there and generate something and, you know, smack you. So he's really, really good for that. And I think, you know, you could play him even just on the 50-point line, just to get that alone. You also get Perplex to start with there, 18 with Energy Shield. Kind of like him better at the 50 just because you're still getting the willpower that can potentially give you attack powers, and you're still getting that awesome Meatball Party special attack power. So yeah, I really like Cyborg a lot, honestly. I think you could definitely throw him onto a Celebrity, Justice League, whatever team, and get some really good use out of him for, you know, just all of that, the special attack power, the trait, everything. A little Perplex, you know, he can be like a little secondary attacker. I think he's pretty great. All right, but last but not least, for the super rares here, we have good old Weird Al Darkseid. And yeah, if you guys didn't know, he's from Teen Titans Go. Weird Al voiced him in the cartoon episode or movie or whatever it was. But anyway, he is awesome. What's not to love about Weird Al? I love Weird Al. I'm glad to get him in clicks finally in some form. But you got Apocalypse, Celebrity, Cosmic, Deity, and Ruler keywords. So he's got a lot of great keyword options there. You've got improved targeting for Elevated and Characters, which is amazing. Those are 2 really good targetings to have, especially Elevated. You don't see that a whole lot. I do wish he had one for Hindering as well, though. Stealth does definitely get in his way. But you've got a trait here that gives you Knockback. And when a friendly character knocks back 1 or more opposing characters, if at least 1 character they knocked back hasn't been knocked back this turn, gain 1 mission point. If Darkseid is 250 points, when he knocks back 1 or more opposing characters, gain 2 mission points. So if he's at full points, you can gain 2 mission points by knocking people back. That's okay, I guess. I don't know, I don't really see you ever getting a mission point win that way myself. He's probably going to do enough damage just by, you know, hitting people to win the game before you win on mission points. But regardless, that's there. You have Phase Teleport. When Darkseid uses it after resolutions, he may make an attack. That's amazing. You just get a full move Phase Teleport and then get a full range attack that ignores Elevated and Characters. That's pretty nuts. And you got Stop, Invincible, and Super Senses. And then you also have a damage power that gives Outwit, Perplex, and Range Combat Expert. So he does everything and some more. He's got that 8 range there for that phasing that just makes an attack special. 8 movement for that as well, so you got a 16 square reach by himself. Then he's got a 12 attack penetrating blast, 19 with invincible, and 5 damage with range combat expert, perplex, and outwit. Not to mention he's cosmic energy, so you got willpower every turn. They can't outwit him. So yeah, pretty nuts. Definitely 250 points worth of stats there. You know, you can just phasing and then penetrating blast with a technically 13 for 6, which is insane. And that you can perplex his attack up to 14 if you need to, perplex his defense up to 20 if you want to play it safe, outwit something. Funny enough, I played this guy in Sealed, and I actually pulled the Yellow Lantern Ring with him. So, you know, throwing the Yellow Lantern Ring on him for the 10 points was kind of worth it, because he could already use Perplex. So I just started minusing 2 everybody's attack and like outwitting their charge and stuff. And it was really, really hard to get to him in the first place. Although I did inevitably lose to a Justice League team that had a bunch of wild cards from the common Superman and Wonder Woman and the super rare Batman. They just all had stealth, and I couldn't see them because you couldn't see through hindering. So they got up on him and beat him that way. But I mean, this dude was pretty nuts and Sealed, and yeah, he'd be a lot of fun, I think, even in Constructed. So you got that first stop click there with a 20 defense. And then he's got quite a few clicks there before he gets to his last click with another stop. He does have some steel energy to heal up, but for the most part, he's just a pretty crazy ranged attacker. And yeah, I really love that special damage power. It does so much. So yeah, like I said, he's probably not going to get any mission point wins just because he's going to be doing so much damage to even... like before you could even win on mission points, I think. So yeah, he's a really awesome character. You know, Darkseid's awesome. Everybody loves Darkseid. He's a really cool super rare, obviously. I do like him a lot. He's probably not going to be seeing any like really high tier meta play or anything because he is 250 points. I mean, he does have, you know, some lower lines. I think the 125 line's okay. The 75 line is also okay, but you can do better probably for 75. So yeah, I would say either 125 or 250 are kind of the sweet spots for him in my opinion. But regardless, he's still pretty awesome, and I do like him a lot. But that's actually going to do it for the super rares. So if you've stuck with it this long, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments about what you think of this set as a whole and just the super rares, whatever you want to talk about. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos either. And of course, if you'd like to help support the channel even more, then there's links in the description for our Patreon, so you can see your name here in the credits with all these other awesome people. And it also gets you entry into our Patreon giveaways, our monthly Patreon giveaways for as little as $1 a month, so make sure to check that out. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.